Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. Today, the Hungry Gamer is back with another playthrough series. And today, I am starting a playthrough series of the demo of Starlight. Now, you may have already seen my preview video of this, but now I'm actually going to do a playthrough of pretty much the entire demo so you can really see what's going on. And before I go any further, I need to tell you that this is a paid promotion. I will not say this at the beginning of every video, but there will be a caption. And a special thank you to the folks at Games for really doing their best while people are starting to be locked down all over to do their part and kind of help get more content out there, more ways to see what's going on. So I appreciate that, and I hope you do as well. As we go through, I will be posting the videos fairly quickly, fairly regularly, and will be asking for your input on them as I have choices that have to be made. So let us jump right in. So we'll start out with our story. Attention! Snaps Captain Soma in her most stern Celestian accent. It is clear when the leader of the troop is upset, as her typically presidential tone is replaced with direct commands. The two pranksters struggle to contain their smiles and giggles. Violet Rey elbows Soul, glaring at him from the corner of her eye. As a student of the esteemed Starlight Institute, you are expected to conduct yourselves appropriately, especially during assessments. I am disappointed. Such juvenile rudeness is beneath those who aspire to become officers of the Alliance. Captain Soma explains as she makes eye contact with the offending pranksters for a moment longer than is comfortable. Starla, ever the responsible and obedient student, thrusts her hand to her forehead and salute. Yes, ma'am. This will not happen again, ma'am. Violet Rey rolls her eyes. The other students repeat the motion, saluting their superior officer with the same quick motion. Soma's frown relaxes ever so slightly. At ease, students. Please note how Starla has demonstrated the expected respect to her commanding officer. I expect you each to do the same. It is only natural for a mother like Captain Soma to expect more of her son. After all, Soul is her only child, and it is embarrassing to have him screwing around during her training sessions. Not only does it demonstrate a lack of responsibility, but it also throws her leadership into question. Such insolence is unwelcome by Captain Soma. A senior officer of the United Defensive Lines and lead instructor at the Starlight Institute, the Celestians have a hard enough time on Medelia without being judged as being insubordinate to their parents or commanding officers. Today, you will be assessed based on the Institute's stringent performance rubric for flight skills, Soma says. As with your past test, we will be reviewing your technical knowledge in addition to your problem-solving abilities and strategic acumen. Enver raises his hand. Yes, Enver, what is your question? Will a superior officer be monitoring us from orbit or from here on the surface? Enver asks with a faint nervousness to his tone. I will be joining you in orbit as a liaison, as I have with previous sessions. My training assistants will be monitoring from the surface this time. Now, if there are no further questions, please proceed to the loading hangar and select a ship for today's training. All right, so what I have chosen to play through today is I've chosen to do a pure solo demo. And I chose to do that because there already is a fantastic playthrough from One Stop Co-op Shop that uses 2 characters. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and just use a single. And so what I've chosen to do is I've chosen Violet Rey here. And for my ship, I selected the Invictus, which is a heavy scout ship, and it's described as a bit of a jack of all trades. So I thought that might be useful for this particular playthrough. And I've selected as my starting abilities Bank and Jet, and one that I never tried, the EMP Blast. So I'm thinking maybe the disabling other ships might be helpful, but we shall see. So the next thing that happens is we go exploring. So the Sparrow here, which has 8 resources, takes us out, and we wind up here. So we place our ship, place it that way so we can see a little bit better. And then now that we're here, what we're doing is we're scouting this position right here, right by the moon. You can see we have the moon here, and that's where we are at the moment. And then that taking the Sparrow out there will cost us 1 resource. And so, by exploring that spot, we go to scenario number 1. The warning klaxon screams at you as signal lights illuminate your cockpit with a flood of yellow. Your ship's notification center blinks as the coordinates of a distress signal appear in red text on the screen. Hostile Ronin ships detected at 18.4958.229.26. An Alliance communications station orbiting one of Medelia's moons is being raided by a small cluster of Ronin ships. This distant moon is 500,000 miles away from the dark half of Medelia. Is this a test? Enver asked. Partially, yes, replies Captain Soma. Irrespective of intent, I shall accompany you and continue with the assessment. The Ronin must be trying to steal the resources of the ship, states Violet Rey, searching for some affirmation. She still desperately wants the approval of her captain and future mother-in-law. Activate sternal defense lasers and frontal shields. Let's make sure we're ready for these guys, Starlight commands. As you approach the moon, you see another yellow glow rising from the other side of the moon's surface. You continue to race towards the space station as the Ronin ships swarm around it like a flurry of hornets. Laser fire from Ronin ships pelts the surface of the station. All around you see fires raging and illuminating the glass windows of the rooms and quarters. Escape pods are shooting out of the station in a desperate attempt to find refuge on the moon's rocky surface. And clearly, our mission is to destroy those 2 ships before they destroy our space station there. And I just marked those there so we kind of have an idea of where we're headed. And I had the choice of starting in any of these spots, and I'm going to start right over here because I'm hoping to make use of my bank and jet and just kind of pop out that way and hopefully do some damage here. All right. So here we go. So a reminder, I get 5 dice because I'm playing pure solo, and here we go. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to be adding some stress here. Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a movement. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use, like my plan was, my bank and jet right here using a move and a stress. And that stress is going to let me turn myself if I want at the end. So take my stress up by 1, and I move to there. And question becomes, do I actually want to turn? And I don't think that I do. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to go big right here and see if I can't take that out with this blast. So I'm doing 3 damage right there. Let's see how I do. So I get to draw 2 because I have advantage. I'm in the back. So I either got a 4, or a times 2. So that's going to be 6 damage, which is actually going to take out number 4 right away. So that is an excellent start for me. Now that leaves me with 1 die here. And so I think what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to, this is a little bit risky, but I'm going to try to move away from this one in the hopes that it can't actually get to me. Now this might be a bad move because I'm exposing my back, but I'm kind of hoping that what it gets in its movement doesn't put it right next to me, so we shall see. Oh, no, that's a terrible choice. I'm just going to not use this one and stay where I am. We have here. All right, so, yep, I made the right choice. So it's going to turn and moves to there. It turns again and it just shoots me right in the face. So it's hitting me for 3, 2. So that brings my shields down to 1. So not a bad start, I will say. And then, well, here we go. Let's see if I can get lucky and get myself behind him and take him out. Or her. Oh, ooh, there we go. Now that's a good roll in many ways, though having that stress and the ability to spin myself around is really good. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and I'm just going to use one of these right here, and I'm going to hit it with my EMP blast. and just disable it for next turn. And so now it's not going to be able to attack me. Then I'm going to grab this here and go to here. And then I'm going to take this one here and rotate myself. So now I'm shooting it right in the back. And that leaves me with 2 more to again hit it for 3. Wow. So let me tell you, when I played this the first time, I mean, I had 2 characters, but it was a really different story. But here we go. So I have, like that. So I have 1 or 3. So I hit it for 3, which brings it down to 2. So I'm definitely glad that I used my EMP to disable it, because it's going to get a chance to get me right now. And then it goes. Okay, so it's going to turn and face me. And then moves to here. And it rotates again. And then it's just going to straight up hit me for its base damage of 2. And a miss. Oh, what am I doing? It doesn't have an attack this turn. So it just moves there, and because I flipped that, I'm going to just shuffle that into my deck here, because now I know it's coming and that would change what I'm doing. So, oh well. There goes my amazing domination that I was going to have this turn. All right, and here we go again. So I'm really hoping somehow I can get myself again around behind it and just take it right out. Oh. Oh, man. Well, apparently Violet Rey is also feeling the stress. So I think what I'm going to do is similar to what I did before. I'm going to take a stress and again hit it with my EMP. So it is again stunned, but I'm now out of ammo for that attack, and that's okay. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a bank like that. I'm going to rotate like that. And then I'm going to use both of my stress and see if I can't take it out. Now, that does mean that I have to add a miss card into my deck. All right. And here we go. So I'm doing 3 damage, which is enough to take it out. And there we go. So that was a pretty good first mission. And then we move into our successful conclusion. The final Ronin ship explodes with an explosion of debris flying in every direction. Come in, Station Shield. This is Acting Sergeant Starlight of the Starlight Institute. Do you copy? Silence. Station Shield, do you copy? Please confirm. Starlight repeats. The communication station is a wreck with only half of the original hull remaining in orbit. Lights flicker across the surface and its SOS signal lights continue to blink. You each open up the communication center on your ship's control panel. I think we should board the ship. What do you think, Starla? Enver asks. It's obvious to the others that Enver is once again looking for an excuse to talk to Starla. You don't have to be a mind reader to know who her secret admirer is. Affirmative. Let's tether together and form a gravity anchor with the ships. You cast your tether line down to the station, sliding towards the surface of the wreckage. As you comb through the halls, you find a single Celestian survivor. Curled up in a ball beneath the control panel, blood is pooling beneath him. Come on! We need to get you out of here before this thing explodes, Saul shouts at the man. Quickly! You are interrupted by a red alert distress call blasting a piercing sound from your communicator watches and the station's loudspeakers. Attention, all Alliance ships. Medelia is under attack. Repeat, Medelia is under attack. This is not a drill. The man is erratic and terrified. The base, you must protect the Chosek from the Ronin. The extraction, the man rambles like a paranoid madman. I repeat, Medelia is under attack. This is not a drill. There's no time. We've got to get out of here. Starlight grabs the man's hand as he continues his panicked ramblings. The man continues to ramble, becoming more incoherent. We must protect the Chosek, the moon. We can't let them get to her. They're trying to seize her from... The man falls unconscious, his words trailing off. All crew members report for duty immediately. I repeat, Medelia is under attack. The warning sounds continue to blare. What base? Who? What are you talking about? Violet shouts at the man, impatient at his vagueness and anxiousness by the red alert klaxons blaring. You hear a loud explosion as a ship begins to crack apart, massive chunks of the station flying off the ship pulled towards the surface of the moon. We need to get him out of here, Sol shouts, reaching for the wounded man. There's no time. We have to get back to our ships before the station implodes, exclaims Violet in panic. We need to go, Sol, now. Sol is stubborn in his resolve. We can't leave him to die. So we can either A, wait for Sol to grab the survivor and bring him back to the ship. You hold on to your stance as the hull begins to break into a large crack spreads across the floor and the control room begins to separate from the rest of the station. Or B, escape while you still have the chance. There's no time. We won't be able to save him and get back to Medelia, says Starlight, motioning to the exit hatch as the warnings continue to blare. So that is where the first quest scenario ends. So now we have a choice. So we either are going to stay and try and help save the survivor who is unconscious with the information about this Chosek thing, or we save ourselves and we get out of there because the entire station is coming apart. Let me know in the comments which one you think we should be doing, and whichever one has more by, I guess, tomorrow, that is the one that we will do. So there you have it, folks. That is the scenario 1 with the first tiny bit of space exploration of Starlight. Thank you so much for watching. This is currently live on Kickstarter. It funded in the first, well, I don't know how fast it funded. By the time I woke up, it was already funded. So if this looks interesting, you have a chance to get in on the action. The link will be in the description of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.